Luck.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Good afternoon, Deputy President. Deputy President, in terms of the draft health regulations, 15A states that any person who has been confirmed as having contracted a notifiable medical condition or is suspected of having contracted a NMC may not refuse prophylaxis or treatment. Currently, the only prophylaxis to COVID-19 available is the vaccine. Does this mean that once approved, South Africans could be forced to get the vaccine in such cases? In your capacity as the chairperson of the Interministerial Committee, do these regulations contradict the President's previous announcements that no person would be forced to get a vaccine? And now, although I am a person that 100% supports vaccines, and I have been vaccinated and my family members, it should be one's personal choice. And Deputy President, just a word of caution. Should these draconian draft health regulations be approved, they have the ability to keep South Africans under lockdown indefinitely. This is in itself a very dangerous situation in terms of South Africans' freedoms and civil liberties. I thank you.
Sorry. Deputy President.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
It's the Deputy President who must answer. Please, honourable members.
As government, we are consistent. The announcement made by the President, there's no deviation, even from these health regulations. We're still not forcing anyone to vaccinate, but we are persuading people to vaccinate because it's a good thing to do. Now, some people are presenting themselves, they're coming forward. Some, they can't because they can't reach our vaccination sites. So we're doing everything in our power to reach our people. But remember, in that process, we're not forcing anyone. We're not forcing anyone. We're sitting with a number of you here. Some are not vaccinated, but we're not forcing them. But every day we're talking about vaccination. We are persuading them. One day we think they will change and go and vaccinate. So nothing has changed. We're not contradicting ourselves. We're still relying on the individual to see the correctness of going out and vaccinate. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable MD Hlengwa.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Good afternoon, Deputy President. Deputy President, a portion of citizens have elected to not accept vaccine. This places those who are vaccinated at a risk. But those who have not, I would like to know this, Deputy President. What measures are in place at all government situations and public space such as schools, universities, and stadiums to protect those who have been fully vaccinated against the various from those who have not? I thank you.
Deputy President.
Thank you very much. We think as government, the regulations, the health regulations that we are putting forward will continue to help us going forward to manage the spread of this infection. We still insist on wearing masks when we are inside buildings. We still insist on a minimum distance of 1 meter. We still insist on washing your hands. So some of the minimum regulations that are presented by health are going to remain post the disaster regulations. So we think people are going to adhere to these regulations so that all of us can behave very responsible and save one another. Now, but one thing that we're not going to do is to force people to go and vaccinate. We think we'll be crossing the red line. All we can do is to encourage our people to go and vaccinate. It's just like when one person is ill. The choice for you to present yourself to a facility, a health facility, the choice is yours. You may decide not to present yourself to a health facility, and I've decided in the past to present myself in a health facility, though very far. But I have presented myself in a health facility because I'm ill. I'm ill. I don't need anyone to push me. I'm ill. So you can, the choice is up to an individual, but an individual must be persuaded, must be shown the benefits of vaccination. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Groenewald, it's your turn, sir.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. In the light of university students that is in fact the client of such an institution, some universities implemented or wants to implement mandatory vaccination policies. Northeast University issued a statement saying that they are waiting on government for directions and none is given so far. The Freedom Fund Plus is against any violation of human rights and as such is against mandatory vaccination policies and the government on record stating it will not be mandated. Honourable Deputy President, in a view of your request to respect an individual right to choose an hospital of choice and your answer in the previous follow-up questions, in the light of government intention to end the state of disaster, what will government do to ensure institutions do not enforce mandatory vaccinations? Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Deputy President.
Thank you very much. I think the stance of government is very clear. It won't change. Even if you can repeat the question many times, the stance is clear. We are not going to force anyone to vaccinate, but we are going to persuade people because we still think that this is an individual choice. The choice of an individual, but repeating the same thing that an individual must be persuaded to see the benefit of taking a vaccine. And some individuals, I've persuaded some, and eventually they ended up taking the vaccine. I've seen it. Persuasion assists, because some people are avoiding this vaccination because of lack of information and knowledge. So as much as you give them knowledge and explain, they eventually take the vaccine. But I don't think people should be forced to vaccinate outside their will. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable members, that concludes the replies to questions. Thank you, Deputy President.
Thank you very much.
Much appreciated.